There comes a moment in every woman's life when she looks in the mirror and realizes being nice has cost her too much. Too much time, too much energy, too much sacrifice for people who never truly saw her. Too much waiting for permission that was never coming. And at that moment, she makes a decision. No more. You see, society has conditioned women to believe that being nice is the highest virtue she can possess. Be agreeable, be selfless, be accommodating. But let me tell you something. Niceness is often a prison disguised as praise. They tell you to be sweet, but what they really mean is be silent, be small, be convenient. They praise your kindness, but only when it serves them. The moment you stop giving them what they expect, suddenly you're too much. Too different, too difficult. But here's the truth. When you stop being the nice girl, you start becoming the woman you were meant to be. And when that happens, the world shifts. You will lose people. Oh yes, you will, because the ones who only loved your compliance will not know what to do with your confidence. But that is not a loss, it is a revelation. The wrong people will leave, but the right ones will rise. Those who truly respect you will respect you more. You will attract relationships, business, personal, spiritual, that are built on mutual power, not silent servitude. You will stop apologizing for existing. No more, I'm sorry for speaking your mind. No more, I hope this isn't too much when you ask for what you deserve. No more dimming your light so that others don't feel small in your presence. When you stop being the nice girl, you start taking up the space that was always yours to claim. You will become unstoppable. Because when you stop seeking permission, you realize you never needed it. You stop waiting for opportunities to be handed to you and you create them. You stop hoping for respect and you command it. You stop fearing rejection because rejection is just redirection toward something greater. And most importantly, you will meet yourself, your real self, the one who was buried under years of people-pleasing, quiet suffering, and unspoken dreams. The self who is not just nice, but powerful, unapologetic, fearless. So today I challenge you, stop being the nice girl. Be the woman who stands. Be the woman who speaks. Be the woman who leads. Because when you do, you will not just change your own life. You will change the world. Niceness as a prison. Being nice often means sacrificing your true self, your voice, and your needs in order to please others. It's a societal conditioning that limits growth and personal power. Loss of people, gain of respect. When you stop being the nice girl, you may lose people who only valued your compliance, but you will attract relationships based on mutual respect and authentic connections. Confidence over compliance. By shedding the need to constantly please others, you embrace your confidence and stop apologizing for your existence. You start taking up the space that's rightfully yours, creating opportunities. Instead of waiting for permission or opportunities to come your way, you begin to create them. You no longer seek validation. You take charge of your destiny. Rejection as redirection. Rejection is not a failure, but a lesson in redirection. It's an opportunity to learn and move towards something bigger and better, strengthening your true power by stopping the cycle of being the nice girl. You rediscover your true self, powerful, unapologetic, and fearless, ready to lead and make an impact in the world. Being nice is often seen as a virtue, a quality that society encourages, especially in women. It's a concept ingrained in us from an early age. Be polite, be sweet, be considerate, and above all, be agreeable. But over time, this idea of being nice can morph into something more dangerous. It can become a prison that locks you into a role of compliance and silence, where you prioritize others' comfort and expectations over your own needs, desires, and dreams. This is the hidden cost of being the nice girl. Niceness, when it's not rooted in authenticity, can begin to suffocate you. The idea that your worth is tied to how well you cater to others, how much you can absorb their needs without asserting your own, starts to chip away at your sense of self. You learn to suppress your opinions, your desires, and your emotions because you are afraid of upsetting the balance or causing conflict. The people around you may love your niceness, but do they truly see you, or are they merely drawn to the version of you that is quiet, pleasing, and safe? The truth is, being nice at the cost of your own happiness and individuality can leave you feeling empty, resentful, and unfulfilled. You might find yourself endlessly giving without ever receiving what you need in return. You might go through life waiting for permission to take up space, to express your voice, or to be seen as more than just the caretaker or the one who always agrees. But this cycle, though seemingly harmless, gradually erodes your sense of agency. You become a passive participant in your own life, waiting for others to dictate the terms. What's even more insidious is that niceness is often praised as a virtue. People will tell you how sweet you are, how easygoing, how wonderful it is to have someone like you around. But under the surface, niceness is a facade. It doesn't allow room for your true feelings to emerge, your passions to ignite, or your dreams to unfold. It's like wearing a mask that hides your full potential, a mask that can make others comfortable, but leaves you suffocating. Ultimately, being nice in this way is not truly about kindness or generosity. It's about self-neglect. The longer you stay in this pattern, the more you lose touch with who you really are, and the more difficult it becomes to reclaim your power and authenticity. The true cost of being the nice girl is the silence and invisibility that you experience in your own life. A silence that only grows louder the more you suppress yourself. When you finally decide to stop being the nice girl, it's natural to fear the loss of relationships. You may worry that people who have been a part of your life will drift away or reject you. After all, you've been conditioned to believe that your value is tied to your ability to please others. But here's a fundamental truth. Those who only valued you for your compliance or your willingness to keep the peace were never truly invested in you. They were invested in what you could do for them. The real shift happens when you stop conforming to others' expectations. At first, you might notice some people fall away. They may not know how to handle your new boundaries or your newfound confidence. They may not understand why you no longer tolerate being taken for granted. But here's where it gets powerful. This is not a loss, it's a cleansing. The relationships that truly matter, the ones built on mutual respect, authenticity, and understanding, will not only remain, but they will grow stronger. When you start showing up as your true self, unafraid to express your needs, desires, and opinions, the right people will gravitate toward you. You will attract those who appreciate you for who you really are, not just for the role you play in their lives. And let me be clear, this is not about seeking approval or validation. It's about discovering the people who respect you enough to embrace you in your fullness, even when you're not trying to please them. The relationships that endure after you stop being the nice girl are the ones that are founded on mutual power and respect, not on an unspoken expectation for you to be accommodating and silent. It's about finding those who encourage you to grow, to speak up, to challenge, to lead, not just those who want you to follow and remain small. Additionally, this shift in relationships opens up new opportunities for connection. When you stop shrinking yourself to fit into others' expectations, you create the space to attract relationships that are meaningful, dynamic, and enriching. These are the people who will support you, challenge you, and help you grow. So while you might lose some people along the way, what you gain in return is far more valuable. You gain the freedom to be your authentic self, and the people who truly resonate with that authenticity will rise alongside you. The right relationships will uplift you, empower you, and walk with you on the journey toward your fullest potential. And that is a gift you cannot put a price on. When you stop being the nice girl, you stop apologizing for your existence. You stop hiding behind the mask of politeness, silence, and self-doubt, and instead you step into your true power and identity. For far too long, women have been taught to minimize themselves, to take up as little space as possible, to keep quiet, and to be agreeable. But when you break free from the chains of niceness, something incredible happens. You stop shrinking and you start expanding. No longer do you feel the need to apologize for voicing your opinions, for taking up space, for standing up for yourself. You no longer hesitate before speaking your truth, worrying that it might make others uncomfortable. The constant fear of rocking the boat fades away. Instead, you begin to realize that your thoughts, your feelings, and your contributions matter. You deserve to be heard. This shift in mindset is not about becoming rude or disrespectful. It's about embracing your worth and showing the world that you will no longer hide behind a veil of politeness. It's about no longer excusing yourself for having dreams, for having ambitions, for wanting success, for needing time for yourself. In fact, you stop asking for permission to be yourself. You realize that the world does not need to validate your existence. It's already valid, powerful, and significant. By rejecting the nice girl image, you embrace the fullness of who you are, the version of you who speaks her mind, who sets boundaries without guilt, who asserts herself in spaces where she once felt invisible or unheard. You stop apologizing for wanting more from life and for demanding what you deserve. The quiet voice of self-doubt is replaced by the firm conviction of knowing your worth. When you stop being the nice girl, you become unapologetic in your pursuit of what you want. You don't hold back anymore. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, or your personal growth, you step forward boldly, no longer worrying about disappointing others or being labeled as too much. The world becomes a place where you are free to express your true desires, to stand tall in your power, and to live authentically without fear of judgment. This is not about arrogance. It's about honoring yourself and your journey. It's about loving yourself enough to know that you don't have to shrink or apologize to fit into anyone else's mold. You have the right to exist, to speak, to take up space, and you do so with strength and grace. When you stop being the nice girl, you stop waiting for opportunities to come to you and instead begin creating them. For so long, many women have been conditioned to sit back, wait for approval, and hope that the right doors will open at the right time. We've been taught to be patient, to wait our turn, and to hope that success will find us if we are just good enough or patient enough. But when you stop being the nice girl, you realize that this waiting game is a trap. You no longer wait for permission to take risks or to go after what you want. You stop playing the role of the passive bystander and become the active creator of your life. The moment you stop being nice, you stop asking for approval from others. You realize that your destiny is in your hands, and you are the one responsible for shaping your future. Opportunities don't just magically appear. They are made through action, through stepping out of your comfort zone, and through taking bold risks that others might be too afraid to take. This shift is powerful because it changes your entire approach to life. Instead of waiting for the perfect job to come along, you start creating your own opportunities. Instead of hoping someone will notice your talents, you actively seek out ways to showcase them. You start networking, pitching ideas, and putting yourself forward in ways you never thought possible before. You stop waiting for others to give you permission to shine, and you start lighting your own path. It's not just about career opportunities either. When you stop being the nice girl, you also begin to create opportunities for growth in every area of your life. You seek out challenges that push you beyond your limits. You put yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable, and you start learning in ways that stretch your mind and body. You stop avoiding failure because you realize that failure is often a stepping stone to success. With this mindset, every setback becomes an opportunity for growth. When you stop being nice, you realize that no one else is going to hand you the life you desire. You must take the initiative. You begin to act with confidence and with purpose, knowing that your actions will lead you to the opportunities you deserve. You understand that waiting for life to happen to you is a waste of time. You take ownership of your future, and in doing so, you create the opportunities that will propel you forward. When you stop being the nice girl, you learn to view rejection as redirection, not as a reflection of your worth or abilities. For so long, rejection can feel like a devastating blow, a sign that you're not good enough or that you're not valued. It's easy to internalize rejection, believing that it means failure, and to let it discourage you from trying again. But when you stop being the nice girl, you realize that rejection is not something to fear, but something to embrace. The truth is, rejection is often just a signal that you are on the wrong path. It's the universe's way of telling you that there is something better, something more aligned with your true purpose, waiting for you. Instead of seeing rejection as a personal attack, you begin to see it as a redirection toward the opportunities and people that are truly meant for you. You stop blaming yourself, and instead you take it as an invitation to explore new paths and possibilities. This mindset shift allows you to move forward with resilience. Instead of feeling defeated by a no or a door closing, you shift your perspective to see it as a chance for growth. Each rejection teaches you something valuable. It teaches you what doesn't work, what you don't want, and what you need to adjust or improve. This process of trial and error is an essential part of success. It's in the moments of rejection that you learn to refine your approach, build your resilience, and get closer to your ultimate goals. Moreover, rejection helps you build emotional strength. When you stop being the nice girl and start standing up for yourself, expressing your desires and setting boundaries, not everyone will be happy with that. Some people will push back and some opportunities may slip away. But instead of letting this hurt you or shake your confidence, you realize that this is part of the journey. Rejection becomes less personal and more a natural step in your path to success. You stop fearing it, and instead you welcome it as an opportunity to refine yourself and your approach. When you embrace rejection in this way, it becomes a stepping stone to bigger and better things. You stop chasing approval and start focusing on your own growth. You trust that each no brings you closer to a yes that is more aligned with your true purpose. This shift in how you view rejection allows you to be more persistent, more daring, and more willing to take risks, knowing that each rejection brings you one step closer to your ultimate vision. Rejection is no longer a barrier, it's the road that leads you to where you need to be. When you stop being the nice girl, you begin to unlock your true potential and step into a version of yourself that is unapologetic, powerful, and unafraid to take up space. For too long, many women have been conditioned to diminish themselves, to remain quiet and humble, never fully embracing their power because they fear being seen as too much, too loud, or too ambitious. But when you stop being the nice girl, you embrace the fullness of who you truly are, and that is when your true power is unleashed. You're no longer bound by the expectations others have placed on you or by the belief that being nice is the only way to be accepted. Instead, you realize that your voice, your presence, and your ambition are all things to be celebrated, not diminished. No longer do you shrink in the face of your goals or dreams. You stop apologizing for wanting more, for striving for excellence, for daring to dream big. The transformation that occurs when you stop being the nice girl is not just an external shift, it's an internal one. You begin to believe in your own worth, in the uniqueness and power you bring to the world. You stop waiting for others to validate your worthiness and start validating it for yourself. This shift gives you the confidence to take on new challenges, to step into leadership roles, and to pursue opportunities that you may have previously thought were out of reach. You stop holding yourself back because you fear the judgment of others or worry about stepping on someone's toes. Instead, you begin to see that the world needs your unique gift. You have something valuable to offer, and you no longer apologize for taking up space or for wanting to be seen. You begin to live life on your own terms, and in doing so, you inspire others to do the same. When you fully embrace who you are, unapologetically and fearlessly, you become a beacon for others to do the same. This is when you truly step into your power. It's not about being perfect, it's about being authentic. It's about embracing your flaws, your strengths, your vulnerabilities, and your ambitions. All of it. You realize that when you stop being the nice girl, you are finally free to be the person you were always meant to be. Unapologetic, confident, and ready to make a difference in the world. And when you do that, not only do you change your own life, but you also inspire others to break free from their limitations and step into their own power as well. In conclusion, the journey of stopping being the nice girl is one of self-discovery, empowerment, and liberation. It's about breaking free from the confines of societal expectations that encourage women to diminish themselves in the name of pleasing others. When you stop being the nice girl, you realize that you don't have to sacrifice your authenticity, your voice, or your ambitions to be loved or accepted. Instead, you begin to embrace your true self, confident, unapologetic, and fearless. This shift brings both challenges and rewards. You may lose people along the way, but you will gain relationships rooted in mutual respect and authenticity. Rejection will no longer hold you back, but instead becomes a stepping stone toward greater opportunities. You stop waiting for permission and start creating the life you desire, seizing the opportunities that align with your true purpose. Most importantly, you will reclaim your power, no longer bound by the fear of judgment or the need for validation. You will step boldly into your fullest potential, inspiring others to do the same. This transformation is not just about personal growth. It's about setting a new standard for how women can live, lead, and love in a world that often asks them to shrink. When you stop being the nice girl, you become the powerful, unapologetic woman you were always meant to be. And in doing so, you change not only your life, but the lives of those around you as well.